Let's do it. Game number 1, World of Colonist Shuffle Tournament. What's this all about? It is a shuffled map. It is shuffled tiles and shuffled everything else. Who do we have here? Nordic Zombie on green, who's placing second right now. Anton 118, Moop on orange here, and Crackajacka on red. Crackajacka on red already starting off with the 6-4-5, and remember, this is very fast, so there's not a lot of time to place these down. Nordic Zombie opts for the 8-4-2 with the sheep port. Oh, baby, we love to see that. Fluffy's in chat for that one. No, German Lawyer, it is shuffle map base rules. So you don't get to build shifts or anything. It's base rules, but shuffle map. Pretty wild, isn't it? Anton here, he's got about a minute to place here on blue. If you look at everything, you'll also notice 1, 2, 3, 4 ore spots, 1, 2, 3, 4 brick, but you look at everything else, there should be 5 of every other tile out there. And so you look at that, 5 of every other tile. Now you look at sheep port, there's 1 sheep port. Where's the second one? Second sheep port over there. So 2 ports here, 2 ore ports out on the 10 wood there. No ships in this one. So when you create the lobby, when you create the game, you can choose either base mode, which is all the base rules. You can choose Seafarers mode, which are all those expansions, and then later on I'm sure there'll be cities and knights rules. Anyways, the 8-5-11 comes out here, maybe pointing towards a good wheat spot. I don't mind that at all. With the 6s, 9s, and 10s, there's a really good chance you get a great wheat spot out there. So maybe the sheep is the key to this one. 8-4, good sheep is only going to be found out here, down here. Unlikely, well, I say that now, but I look at it, maybe it is likely that someone takes the 8-9 there at some point, but sheep do seem to be maybe a bit of a priority here. Really good spot for the ore here, though. The 4s, the 5s, the only other spot is a 6-5 here. Maybe looking at some of the wood out here with a wood port. But the only other wood here, 9, 5, and then everything else is a 2 hex spot. That makes it pretty tough to run a wood port style strategy here. But you do get some pretty good resources on the 6 and the 5 here. No, they go with a 6-9-3, maybe pointing out here. They'll have to get to the wood spot somehow. In the end, they can always try to go down for a little bit more ore there. Would be nice to start off with the road, though, although I'm not sure what they're going to aim for here. The 5-9-12, maybe the 5-9-11, if they want to start off with a road. That's not guaranteed either, starting off with the road. There are a couple spots if you do want to plow somebody to start off with one of those roads. The road does point to this little peninsula here, looking for the 6-3 or the 3-11, although I have a feeling one of these is going to be taken in here. So they get that on their first turn. The second one on the turn back around. This could have been a second spot as well with a 9-3 coordinating for a road, but again, fast turn. Very fast placement means that you might not have thought about that at the beginning there. So do they need some ore? Maybe they could, or they just try to play for, I guess, play for some port strategies. I'm almost looking towards this 9-4-11 and trade for sheep here. The other option is to try and get a little bit more brick, and they do that. 8-9-2, so lots of wheat. They get a little bit of extra brick, a little bit low on that brick production, but they get themselves onto that rare sheep there. They get that 8 sheep, and this is going to make it much tougher for Kraka here, who might have to look on something like this 8-9. And I could see something like that 8-9 and still build out over here, double up on the sheep, grab some extra wood out there, start to city some things up. They might have a pretty good shot here. But we go first back to Anton here. Anton on blue, looking for some wheat like they thought they would. And there's actually a nice coordinate 11 here for roads if they want to take that. I don't know if the 9 is exactly what they want, though. I feel like they might have wanted something like the 6. 6 wheat to make things a little bit easier on themselves, and then hopefully get some brick through that. So the 6-10-2 is not bad. It does also block out Moop here with a nice expansion out to the 6-5 with a wood port. Not necessarily needing that, but the 6-5 looks like a really good spot. What port's on the 4 wood on the upper spot? That's a brick one. Sorry about that. I will move that over just a smidge there. There we go. You got it. It's actually a 6-10 down to a 3-1 spot. Hello. 6-10 down to a 3-1 spot. Hey, you get on that much quicker, maybe not wanting to get onto that wood port anyway, but you do start off with one less brick port, but this does make you a little bit quicker to get to the 3-1. So Anton's definitely got a vision in their mind looking for that. Now Nordic Zombie 8-4-10 was the start. Double sheep with the wheat looking to get onto the sheep port as soon as possible. They start off with that early road. They also have options here now for double settlements, double triple hex settlements here. To be able to get onto that 9-4-11 would be fantastic here. Now it goes all the way back to Kraka, who needs to get on some sheep. Like I said, I thought this might have been the spot out here on the 8-9, but that leaves Nordic Zombie so open to some really good expansion spots. Nordic looks like they're going to have great expansions. They're going to have great sheep. If they get on this 4 ore, that's going to be a huge point there. And I don't think Kraka's going to turn around and set down there either. That'd be too concentrated for Kraka. And Kraka really does need some sort of port. There's no port out here for red. So Woodport might have to be the go-to, but again, there aren't too many 3-1s on this one. 3-1s are all out here on that 9 ore. So really tough to get out there. Oh yeah, it is the 8-9 there, and they might end up going out to the side here. So game on, placements are out. Let's see what happens. Nordic already starting off with the road in hand. I wonder what they're going to go for first. My feeling is the 9-4-11 with a quick road settle. That opens up all sorts of options for development cards. Get themselves doubled up on the brick. Get themselves on this nice 9 wheat as well. And they secure their ore spot for later. That should make the sheep a little bit quicker here. Blocking the 3 brick early. It is a double block for Kraka. Yo, Wookie, what's going on? Good morning. Good luck today. Saw your name in there. 4 rolls it out. It is wheat. It is sheep. Oh, ignore that. And it is going to be the 9-4-11 first. 4s hitting back to back now. Really good. That actually means that that Kraka might actually get closer and closer to that city early on. Now, the big question is, I mean, it's not a question really, is Kraka okay with city, and then get himself out? I think so, but in some ways, I might want to trade out for some brick first, right? Kraka doesn't make any brick, so these are going to be tough to come by. If you city, you're hoping that the 9 stays unblocked so you can 2-1 for some bricks and get yourself out there. But Cracker is still with control of this robber here. Puts it on the 8 sheep here. Now trying to give that sheep back for some wheat. I think stole that sheep initially there. But they've got 7 cards in hand. But again, stuck hand. Can't do much with it. Especially with those 4s here. You've got a couple ore here. They do have the brick. Must have stolen the brick, actually. That's a huge steal if that is the case. If they plucked from Nordic Zombie, that might have been a huge steal there. Because Nordic will have to get that brick back in order to build that. 6 rolls out now. Lots of wheat on the board with 6s. Now, with these boards like this, you always want to look. If you're buying development cards, is there a good Monopoly resource out there? My feeling is if there's a resource out there, it could be the wheat. A couple of 6s, once these are citied up later on, you're going to be building like crazy. So the best spot for that might be Anton. I might be inclined to build a couple of dev cards just to see if I can pull that mono for later in the game, especially with the wheat port there. Huge potential there. Nordic Zombie with a couple of connection issues. It does pass on to Anton here, who rolls it out. They roll a 7 for themselves, and they've got to think that green is probably going to be one of the strongest here, and it's actually going to be a double block. 9 wood here to slow things down for both Kraka and Moop. Now, of course, Nordic here only has 2 cards in hand, so not an immediate threat to go ahead and build anything up yet, but Anton does want to trade out some of that brick for wood, and I wonder if anybody will take that trade. Potentially Moop. Moop had it blocked out for a while. A 10 rolls out, more brick, a little bit of wheat out there. Kraka here still probably looking for a brick to get that settlement down. The 3 rolls out. There is brick on the table. Almost everybody has brick. So if Kraken needs that trade to happen, I'm sure somebody out there might trade something else for it. But no, it's actually the wheat that they need. And Anton goes straight 1 for 1 with the sheep for wheat straight across. And that's actually trading for the city first. Krakajaka hits immediately with the 6 double wheat for that. Early city is very scary here, especially for Kraka, who's on the 4-5 ore with a 6 wheat. And they've already got the 2 wheat, so a 4 and a 5 after that. Like I said, the 6s are hitting so much for wheat. Imagine the monopoly potential here already. The wheat already down to 1 question mark, single digits in the deck there. So lots of wheat out there, most likely going to be 4 to 1. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually ran into a few instances where the deck runs out and nobody actually gets wheat or collects wheat for that. 3 rolls out, a little bit more brick out there. Like I said, I think I would have tried to trade some of that early ore and wheat and try and get the settlements down first. But hey, getting that city up, you're probably looking at another city right away here. And for whatever reason, Kraka is the one with control of the 7s this game. Very, very strong with the 7s. If they get to control where the robber is, keep it off of the city production, I think Kraka's looking to be in a pretty good spot. Nordic's taking a little bit of time to get things going here. Shout out to Nordic for rocking the cactus, by the way. Nice logo, nice icon. And Kraka is holding Nordic down just a little bit. They are probably in the strongest position next to Kraka here. And so if they can't get the settlement up, if they can't get the sheep poured up, I think we bypass the 5-9-12 right now. I think we get first settlement 9-4-11. Second settlement has to be the sheep. And then you try to go for either your cities or your production here. Yeah, Nordic's getting robbed a ton. But the 7 does roll out. Free clear back onto the 9 here. 11. Get some wood and some brick out onto the table here. Nordic might have needed that. Might have needed that brick there. Get that brick. I think one of their bricks was stolen early on, so the brick might mean that they get their settlement now, especially with the sheep there, especially with a little bit of everything. Nordic's got 7 in hand. A second brick comes down here for a Moop. Kraka on 7 cards again. Most of that being wheat, though. You know, they have about 4 wheat in there. They get a dev card first. That's going to be a first one of the game. Nordic gets another roll, another brick. They might be lacking that 5 wood. That's right. The 5 has not rolled a ton this game. Otherwise, we'd have a bunch of ore out here as well. So Nordic might have to make a trade for somebody, and Anton might be the trade because every time that 11's rolled, it's been wood for brick. And they might be able to trade straight across for that if Nordic goes for it here. 5 seconds left. Nordic is at 8 cards here, and the time is ticking down on very fast. I'm afraid it is a 4 to 1 for that wood, and they decide to hold on to it right at the end. Whew, held my breath there a little bit. Nordic is playing with fire there. Anton sets the block over to Kraka on the 6 wheat and sets down on the 3 to 1 port. 65 is operational, so every 5 is a double ore there too. I think you gotta watch out here. Anton might be kind of sneaky here. The 11s helped out a lot with those rare woods there, and that might actually help with this 6-5 here. And then again, the roll down onto the wheat here. Nice block onto the 5 by Moop here, blocking off a lot of that ore on the board. That should slow things down, but those 6s are still going. Those 6s are still going so strong right now. So Kraka actually reveals 1. It is a knight here. And they're going to be able to move that off of the ore here. And they go to the 6 wheat. They don't want any competition for that ore wheat sheep dev card game. I think that's a fair block there. The 10 rolls out here. That's going to be wheat here for Nordic. Do they have the settlement yet? Still missing brick. They had to 4 to 1 their brick. They had to 4 to 1 their brick. And now they don't have any. So they took the wood for that one. And the 5 rolls now, so they have 2 wood in hand, unfortunately. But that 5 means double ores for Anton and Kraka here. And we know that Kraka's been buying dev cards. Anton joins the game too with 1. Kraka's still holding on to another one. Moop here rolls the 6 out again. Unfortunate there for Anton as that 6 is blocked out. And they're trying for a 2-to-1. I think Nordic might actually take this trade here. The 2-for-1 brick wheat for a wood. Nordic should have 2 in there. Not taking that trade. I'm a little bit surprised there. Moop is nowhere near in the lead, and the settlement here is only onto a 6-3. I think that would have been a good trade, but Nordic might have used one of those wood already. I'm not sure. But Moop actually rolls out the 9 for wood on their own turn now, so not having to trade out for that. Moop, if they make it back around, they'll have 8 cards right now. Looking 2-to-1 for a sheep. Oh, man. Imagine Anton can get to the 6 wheat and cut off red. We're looking for plow plays. I like it. I like it. Nice little plow through there. I'm not sure if they're interested in that. I know for sure they want to just get that wheat port right now. Oh, that's going to be the first robber of the game, though. And that feels bad for Moop. Moop is not feeling so great after that one as they throw away 3 wheat and a brick here. They do steal from Kraka there. The 9 rolls out. That's a rare one out there. We did see Nordic put down the 9 for 11 there. Kraka, not enough time to trade. It really feels that way, doesn't it? I'm always worried about very fast. Fast, sometimes you do. You have to be right on with those trades, or you have to be ready to make some sort of a 4-to-1 or a 3-to-1 or some other trade. Otherwise, that time just runs out. The road comes down. Actually, they're still building out. So Moop is looking for a wheat port of their own with the 69 wheat here. They are going to be slower to build their cities, though, only on this 3 ore. Crack is stealing from Moop here. Another 9 rolls out. That's going to be wood here and wheat. Really good for Moop right now. Crack here on 9 cards, though. What's the play here? And you know what? The bigger thing is if somehow they can trade themselves out for 2 brick. I mean, it could be the other plow, the other way around here, this way to the wheat port. Those wheat ports are pretty high in demand right now. Now, like I was saying before, sometimes there are 2 ports of every single one. I think on this particular map there are 2 of each. This is a larger map, but we might see another one down the line here where there are fewer and fewer ports. And these 9s, 9, 9, and 9. That's 3 9s in a row. That is 3 9s in a row. Nordic Zombie here, trying to go 2 wheat for 1 brick or 1 wheat for 1 brick. Trying to go straight across. They do need this sheep port here. Anton is willing to do that, but the time runs out, and that just might mean that things get passed on. So the more self-reliant you are, the better production you have, which I tend to favor cities in this point. It means that if you can't get those trades off, you just hope for good dice rolls and good production. Right now, it certainly is looking like Kraka is in the best shape here with the only city out there. I think they need to get their settlement down. They need to get another city out there and hopefully a couple more dev cards. They're already at 2 nights played, by the way. As Nordic is still trying to trade out for some brick or some ore here. Kraka on 12. Dodges the knight here. Even rolls an 8 for that sheep in there. What's it going to be? Can they get a trade out for the brick? Don't need it. They had it already. They get settlement down on the 8-4. Woodport already activated. Now they got the 4 and the 9. Do they keep buying more dev cards? Do they try to hold up for that city? They go 2-1 for another brick here. What are they looking at here? That's 1 brick. Maybe they are looking at a road here or a road here. I mean, the other option up towards the top here. Do they have options up here? Not too many, really. They go ahead and get an ore, 2 for 1 for the ore. They go for a dev card. That's going to be their 3rd one here. 6 gets rolled out. It has been hitting so hard, and now doubles for everybody. 2 wheat for everybody on the 6. Anton was close to the city last couple orbits, but they went for the dev card, and that's always the struggle. Do you save up for a city, or do you buy that dev and hope that dev turns into something good? only to get a knight. It's always a knight. Sometimes you get that year plenty, that road building. All those things help out. Nordic goes 4-1. So Nordic already looking for a city up here. And I wonder if the city is going to be the 8-4-10 here to try and get themselves out onto the sheep board. Or if it is going to be that 9-4-11. Try and get that extra ore. Not sure right now as Anton rolls the 12 out. Nobody on that one. But trying to go 2-for-1. I think if Nordic has this, they would take it. Because they're trying to get that city up. And it's actually Moop who goes ahead and takes that trade. So Moop is going to have a city for themselves, I think, fairly soon. If not, another development card. The road does come down. Wheatport protected. Moop on that 2-1 trade. They were at 8 cards anyway, but that's another 3 wheat and a wood. Moop being hit twice by the 7s. Not a great game so far, but still lots of time left. They go ahead and put it back on the 6 for Kraka here. Blocking that one out. City production, too powerful. Going wheat for sheep here. Play-by-play is amazing. Appreciate that, Wookie. I hope you're just enjoying it. I think Catan games can be pretty exciting, especially when it's on a very fast timer. I mean, you're just jumping from one roll right into the next. It makes it easy. 8 getting rolled out. That's all the sheep on the board there too. So similar, very similar to the 6s. We haven't called it as much there. There were 6 wheats out there, but we also have these 8 sheep out there. So tons of 8 sheep out there. You get that rolled out, and every single player is actually on an 8 sheep here. So sheep actually not so rare, fully abundant right now, even though some people had to go on 2 hex spots out onto the coast. Kraka buys another card, did not reveal that last one, so my feeling is that's not a knight, or that first one wasn't a knight. They might have just bought one right there, but they could have played the knight to block, to clear that 6 off. Nordic buys a dev card for themselves, no city save there, and they kind of move on. Anton with the second 12 roll here. And then Moop with the 7. So where's Moop going to roll it out to? I think Kraka's still in the lead right now, and Kraka shows in the lead at 4 here. Nice block onto the 5 ore there. Moop here still needs to get their city up. Nordic very far from getting their city up until they get that sheep port up. I think that has to be the race immediately. Hopefully Nordic got something good for that dev card there, because it's pretty tough to race for army right now. Anton with 1 plate and 1 dev card. Kraka might have just bought the last knight that they needed. It's better to take it sooner rather than later. Moop trying to trade out here, but 10 seconds left. Might not be any trades out there. I think they do have to get this settlement down. That'll make their city production a little bit better, since they've got that 6 wheat that they can start trading away for some ore. And if they get a 3 on that one, hey, all the power. But Kraka here lays down the knight, sets themselves at 6 points, and we might even call that 7 because of that dev card that wasn't played. They use the knight, but they roll a 7 afterwards, so they're going to have to clear it off the 6. They do block the 9 here. Moop, no more dev cards for you maybe, or no more cities for you either. Same for Nordic, who has the 9 blocked out. They don't play a knight for themselves either. So Nordic holding on to another one. Maybe a mono, maybe a year of plenty. Who knows? Nordic here is still trying to struggle for that brick, since they're only on the 3 and the 11. A few outliers there. And not really rolling too much. Those 6s and 8s have been really hitting here. Wookie, you're just able to just listen during your game and totally follow. Man, I'm surprised you're following 2 games at once. That seems like a lot. The 4 rolls out. Kraka with the wood double ore. You got to think that's going to be close to another city soon. I think with the army secured, Kraka's going to be looking to get these cities up. And right now, you know, for road, Moop is the only one who's close, but the road production isn't necessarily that good. Once we get these cities up on these 9s and these 4s, those roads could start coming in for Kraka. They could just steal those. Anton here buys another dev card. They're sitting on 2 with 1 knight played. Again, everybody's holding on to at least 1 dev card, so there could be some knights out there. There could be some big monos. It feels like Nordic has fallen behind just a little bit. Moop gets in on the dev card game as well. They buy 1, and Kraka gets hit with 9 cards. You gotta throw away 4. Should have 5 in hand. They get to pluck one from someone first, and I'm not sure who it's gonna be. It almost looks like, yeah, it's gonna be Moops again, contesting that 6 wheat one more time. Cracker trying to give ore for wheat, and somebody might take him up on that offer just for the potential for a city. Remember, in these tournaments, what you're playing for, first off, is wins, but second is points. So if you can secure yourself some guaranteed points at some point, you do it. Whether that's longest road when no one else is contesting, whether that's buying dev cards, whether that's just building whatever you can on your turn instead of holding it. Sometimes you just got to do it. Not that Kraka is so close. You know, they're at 6, maybe 7 points. They still got 3 more points to go. The 9 rolls out here. Wheat, wood out on the board. Nordic trying to give ore for brick. Really struggling in that area. And nobody trading, so they go for a dev card of their own. Starting to collect a few of those. 2 in hand there with 5 resources left. They're starting to think about what they can do here. I wonder if they're thinking about a second dev card. Might just be the road out to the sheep port here. They pass it along. 7 for Anton again. Only 3 resources. They go ahead and steal from Kraka. Back onto that 6 wheat. That 6 wheat has seen a lot of blocks. Anton uses a knight right away. That's 2 knights out for Anton. This might force Kraka to keep buying dev cards. You know, Anton is kind of chasing. They go ahead and block the 4 ore and steal from Kraka again. That 4 ore, though, does belong to Nordic Zombie, so even farther away from a city now is Nordic, unfortunately. But Anton is willing to trade out some of that ore for wheat, or sheep for wheat. And very few trades so far in this game. Now, we've casted very fast tournaments before, and there have been lots of trades. I don't know if y'all remember Soren. He was on here a couple of times before. I hope he's doing all right. I haven't seen him in a while for some of these tournaments. But he was playing in some of these tournaments. He would make lots of trades happen, too. Now, some of that might have been voice chat. Some of that might have just been the table and the players that were there. But yeah, definitely not seeing as many trades go through here. Moop here rolling a 10 out. Brick is on the table. Moop is willing to give wheat for brick as well. Anton basically controlling all the brick right now. Kraka with the 7 gets to move it, and they might consider Anton, you know, with that brick. But I'm not sure what else they're going for. Maybe they're trying to get another city, so they do decide to steal from Moop again, and it is the second city down. 9-8 citied up. Kraka at 7 points now. The 8 rolls for triple sheep. The production is so good now for Kraka on red. But again, no 3-to-1 ports, no other ports. It is just that wood port. So 3 sheep in hand. I mean, maybe you get a whole bunch of dev cards with a 4, a 6 roll, or a 5 and a 6 roll. You get a whole bunch of dev cards too. You could do it that way. They are another road and a settlement away. Could be 8 points there. I think they go ahead and try to buy a whole bunch of dev cards. Almost all dev cards are good for Kraka at this point, because Anton is kind of chasing. And really for Kraka, a road building's fine. You get your settlement spots. You get the Year of Plenty. That's great. Helps you with your settlements or your cities. You get a monopoly. That's always good, almost in every situation. The knights still help you, you know, build out. And then of course you can just get straight up points. Now, hopefully here, Nordic Zombie's able to put something down with 9 cards. They actually passed on their turn. What did I miss there? They held at 9 there, and Anton held at 8 there. They didn't hold at 9. They just rolled into 9, sorry. Nordic is at 10. Anton at 8. Moop is at 6 points, or 6 cards now. So hopefully that 7 doesn't come back around. But yeah, Kraka's here at 7, potentially 8. And the rest of the board is only showing 3 points right now. So only showing 3 points. They need to pick it up a little bit, but I'm not sure if they actually have the tools to do it. And with that roll, Anton at 8, Nordic at 10. Those 7s are destroying the table right now. Kraka only at 3 cards now. It's going to be happy to see the rest of the board lose half their hand. And hopefully Nordic here can actually choose what they want to throw away. They end up throwing away 2 sheep, 2 brick, and a wood. I feel like Nordic's probably holding on for that city right now. And Kraka actually goes and steals from Nordic, who's on 3. But they do have 2 development cards. Anton's at 3 with 1 development card here. Nordic does have 2 here. Kraka trying to give away sheep for ore. I'm not sure if anyone's going to be trading with them so far in the lead here. So Kraka might be forcing Nordic to play one of those knights. Nordic does not reveal any cards there to clear out the 5. Let's see what Nordic saved up here. You don't really understand why everyone's going for dev cards. Oh my! That was the road building here. So Nordic does reveal a card. It wasn't the knight here. They go ahead and road build, but we called it. Anton with the mono on sheep after some of those big sheep rolls. They have a 3-1 port. They go 3-1. They get a settlement down. They buy another dev card off the back of that. Anton here makes their way to the wheat port too. And they pocket another ore after that. 8s roll out, more sheep on the board. Was that worth it? Was that enough? They got a settlement down and a dev card. I think that's not the worst mono in the world. There's another 6 that comes out too, and that's going to help out now that they have that wheat port. There are definitely a lot of dev cards out there, but I would definitely be trying to get those settlements and those cities down, especially after Kraka put that first city up. Yo, Tuddy, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're having a good day so far. 6, the 9, the wheat on the board here. Anton at 8 cards. Moop is holding on to 10, and so is Kraka. Trying to hold off on those 7s, hopefully. Anton here, they're going to have to try and get themselves up to a city here as fast as possible. That 8-5-11 doesn't look too bad. I do think they need that. Oh, this is the best part. Anton with a year of plenty, going double ore, but actually goes for 2 dev cards. 2 dev cards. Anton goes for the 2 dev cards instead. I thought that was going to be a city, but they're slow playing this. They got to be careful. Now, Anton, though, could contest for army here if they play 2 consecutive knights on their turn. Kraka does not have a knight in their hand. We've seen that already. Kraka does not have a knight in hand. We are assuming that's a point because they haven't played it here. Now Moop does set down onto the wheat port and immediately trades in 2-1, 2-1 for the city. That 6 is stacked, but it's the 8 that rolls first, and Kraka on 15 resources now. You got to think they're able to do something with this. Most of it is sheep here, and it's going to be a 4-1, 4-1, 2-1 for 3 ore. Another city comes down on the 4-8. We're looking at 9 points on Kraka right now. I'm not sure if Anton's got enough turns to steal the army, but that might be the only way to stop him. Nordic Zombie here, still sitting on 4 points with 1 card hidden. 5 resources. Not sure if they're actually even going to get to that sheep port. Sad times. Nordic did get stolen quite a bit at the beginning of the game. Blocked quite a bit. Just couldn't get those settlements down. Couldn't get the city up. A 3 for Moop is huge as it's 2 ore, 2 brick. 2 ore and 2 brick for Moop. If they get to hold on to that. That is a knight that's revealed for Anton. Anton just needs 1 more rotation. Another dev card here. Anton is racing for army. I think Anton's doing the right thing here, trying to steal army away. If they can keep Kraka down to 2 cards and they cannot win on this turn, then it's going to go back around and Anton might be able to steal it. Moop here on 10 cards though, slowly building their way up. They've got the city up. They've got the wheat port up. I mean, they're happy to get another wheat port or another city out here and double up on the 6s and the 9, make good use of that wheat port. No, they're going to take longest road and secure that since nobody else is really contesting. It might be Nordic Zombie here who goes for the cutoff, but they've got to worry more about their cities than anything else. That's going to be a 9. Nice block on the wood there. Longest road is going to be nice though for Moop as they get themselves to 7 points. And that'll make it hard for Kraka to actually steal the longest road in case there was another road building in there. Certainly possible. 2 roads and a 3rd would have done it. Kraka trying to trade out, but it's going to be hard to trade when you're at 8 points here. It does go through as a 2-1 to Anton here as they get a dev card. Anton probably has the largest army. Anton's okay with that trade. Anton says, I can trade you because you're not a threat anymore. Anton's going to put themselves at 6 points. The 11 here, Nordic Zombie. Finally hitting some double brick there. But they do need some wood to go with it as they're only on the 5. So not quite the same level of production for things. They get a trade with Anton too. Anton now starting to get some trades for themselves. Road does come down and it's Nordic Zombie here building one out here. But they're dangling the roads out there. Oh! It's the road building. They get themselves onto the sheep port up at the top. They get themselves to Sheepport and they block this off here. They get themselves to that wool port. Largest army goes over to Anton, who plays that knight. 10 resources in hand. One more dev card. Kraka here again brought down a notch. Down to 6 points now. And suddenly Nordic finds themselves at 7 points. Technically in the lead, I guess. But they're still so far away from their next city. And unfortunately, the 4 ore block is going to be in that Kraka and Nordic are slowed down quite a bit. Now, I don't think Anton's that close yet. They're still at 6 with 1 point here. But they get another city down. I changed my mind. Maybe Anton is kind of close. Maybe it is kind of close here. A 5 rolls out. That's another 3 ore here for Anton. Anton's looking to be in real good shape now. Yo, Gleb, you won your first game. Congrats. It looks like a tough map on very fast. So I'd be real happy with a win. That's a good start to the tournament as Moop here is on 10 points now. And they can still build that road to secure themselves. But no, they drop the city down 8-9-2. 6 points the hard way now. And there is still some space out here for the longest road here for Moop here. Kraka actually blocking the 3 brick. I don't know. I think I might have been blocking Anton here. Anton feels like they're kind of in the lead with the 2 dev cards in hand. I think Anton might sneak away with this one. Kraka here. They did get the other knight out there, so it's 4-4, but Kraka doesn't have that 5th knight. I think Anton's got tempo now. Shouldn't be able to be caught. Anton can just keep buying dev cards, especially with the wheat port, especially with the 3-1, and especially with those 6s rolling. I think they have much better opportunities to get those. You need 6s, 4s, and oh, the road comes out. I'm going to call that a plow just because. That's going to be the longest road here for Nordic as they hold on to those points. Really important now for Nordic to at least hold on to those 7 points. Anton here with another knight, putting it out of reach. 5 knights played now as they're battling it out. Krakajaka falling behind as Anton reveals another one. 11 cards for Anton here. What's the play? I think another city. Yeah, it's another city for 8 points. Maybe 9 with that hidden dev card there. Now, settlements aren't going to be easy to come by. It's going to be at least 2 roads to get out there. And so it is going to be another dev card. Those dev cards are still going to help out. A 4 here finally hits. Maybe that gives Nordic the option to build a city now, as Moops buys another dev card for themselves too and hopes to at least walk away with another point here. Tough to go and race for the road now as it's 8 segments on Nordic and Moop is only at 5. They need to basically wrap around, and that would only be temporary. I could see them trying to go ahead and, build out for that settlement spot. Kraka goes 2-1 for the sheep. They get a development card for themselves, 2 in hand. But the army race, I think, is won by Anton already. Crackerjack trying to buy another one, I think, here. I think they might even just go road settle here onto the 6 wheat. That might be the play there. I mean, the other option is to stop and cut off Nordic, but I don't think that road race is too interesting right now for Kraka. Nordic here on 6 cards gets the rollout. It's going to be more 6s, more wheat. Great for Moop, who is at 12 cards now with that wheat port. And yeah, Anton here doesn't have too many cards, but that wheat port is still operational for them. Nordic trying to go ore for wood, trying to stretch this out so that it cannot be taken away. Points do matter, again, in that tournament setting. Looks like it is going to be Anton's turn to roll out. I'm not sure if they want to roll more 6s. Oh, we missed that. Anton rolled the 7, and that's going to hit Kraka on 8 and Moop at 12. Look at the cards thrown away. Moop throwing away 5 of those rare bricks, and Kraka throwing away almost another city there. Another 8 would have been a whole bunch of dev cards there. The block goes on to the 6 now, as Anton has 5 cards. 8 points. 2 dev cards in hand. Anton is very close. Whatever those dev cards are, Anton's got to be close. It's Year Plenty. They go for 2 brick. The Year Plenty is revealed. They might have a point in hand. They drop down a road here, a double road here, opening up the 511 settlement spot and potentially longest road here too. One or the other. It depends what this card is. It's not guaranteed to be a point. Let's be honest there. Could be the other road building, and they might be able to build themselves out into a longest road here for the steal. But Moop here building it out the hard way. Another city gets them to 7, and it could be them that's on that extra point. So maybe 8 points for them. Nordic here hits with double ore, double sheep, but Kraka first with double ore, double wood at 7 cards. Double wood for a sheep gets another dev card for themselves. 3 dev cards in hand. Anton, though, has played all their knights. They are at 5, so they've got at least 2 rounds for that. But a second 4 comes out. Nordic at 14 cards. Tell me that's a city. That's got to be 4 or 4 sheep in hand. They go for a dev card first. They still have enough to go 2-1, 2-1 for the wheat. The city comes down 9-4-11. Nordic sets themselves on 8 points, maybe 9. This is real close. Another knight, unfortunately. Anton had to play a 6th knight. No more cards in hand at a hard 8 points. They need 3 roads to win it, but they've only got one resource in hand. 3 roads will do it for 9 segments here, as Nordic should be careful and watch out for that. But the sheep comes out on the 8. Kraka-Jacka. A ton of cards in hand. Anton buys a dev card, does get that out, but one more time with such good production comes Big Robbers. Moop cutting that hand in half. Kraka's still going to have 6 in hand, but good chance that Moop actually moves it over and tries to steal here. But largest army is still pretty far out of reach. It's going to take 3 cycles to get 7 knights out. Hopefully Kraka got something else in those dev cards. What a weird and wild game, German. What a weird and wild game. Kraka here. They do have a knight. They play that one out. So not opting to use anything else. Not a mono on this turn. Lots of resources out on the board. They are going to try and clear themselves off here. No. The knight was actually, or the robber was on the 11. So they're going to move that over and try to block out the 6, which actually gets blocked for 4 wheat. Take that, Moops. Kraka here on 9 cards, so not opting to use anything else. The Year of Plenty's both used, so not going to be able to build out that way. It is just going to be raw production and trade. 2-1, another dev card here. If this goes on any longer, I mean 2 more rounds, and if Anton can't get it, it might just go back the other way, back to Kraka. And I mean the other option is that Kraka just has 3 points. You know, they might just have the 3 points in there. It's not unheard of. Then they're just a road and a settlement away, but we haven't seen any indications of that just yet. Nordic on 8, 1 dev card in hand. 3 resources only, though. Maybe looking for something like a 4? Man, 4s would be so good. 4s are almost a city. 4 hits! I don't know what that one other card was in there. They were literally 1 card away from a city there. They go ahead and use the knight. They're going to try and steal for it, but this is only going to put them at 9 points. That one was just a knight, not a point or anything like that. So if anything, it'll get them up to 9. And it is the city. Good steal. Fair steal. 9 points for Nordic the hard way. They actually have a settlement spot out here too. The roll comes out for 8s. Anton passed real quick after that 10 here. Moop going for an ore here. Buys a development card for themselves. 7 points plus 2. Kraka on their turn. 13 cards. They survive the 9 rolls. Make it 15 resources. It's going to be the other mono. This one's for brick. A road, a settlement, 7 points plus 2 here. Do they have enough for a city? A city and 2 points. 2-1 for the wheat. Congratulations, Crackajacka, with a 10-9-9. 10-9-9-9-9. Everybody made their way. I thought this was going to be like a 10-4-4-4 game. And Kraka, who was heavily favored, comes back with 2 victory points. Moop had 2 as well there. And then 1 on Anton there. But everybody had 9 points. Crazy close game. 8 points by City. No largest army since Anton took it. Big on those 6s. Lots of wheat in this game. The 7s went back and forth. 5s disappeared for a little bit. Unfortunate for Anton. I think that was Anton's number. They had a bunch of ore on there. A few more 12s on that one, but let's check it out. The rest of the resources here, yeah. Lots of grain, and you saw the trades there. Moop, Anton, both on wheat ports. Tried to make good use of that. What a game. What a game. 13 knights drawn. We had all 5 VPs out there. The 2 monos, the 2 road builders, and the 2 Europlennies. Everyone was buying dev cards out there. Now, how many were actually blocked? Moop had 10 blocked by the knight there, unfortunately, and only 4 there for Kraka. The trades here, like I said, not as many trades. Only 5 trades going through in this game. But how many did we have? We had 18, 24 dev cards bought out there. The resource stats here, let's check it out. The production, so good for Kraka with those early cities. So far ahead, but man, everybody got to 9 points anyway with this production. Crazy. The 7s hitting for 13 and 14 cards. Moop got hit probably the worst there out of that deal. And then, of course, getting robbed a lot. The focus was on Kraka. The focus was on Nordic. What a close game. GG's, well played.